On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards, good for a giant first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Thompson on first down. And the pass is intercepted. He was looking for Ingram. Picked off near the 42. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, it has to be an excellent pass rush, terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers, and then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction.
And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 47-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Mayfield now. He finds his target, Beckham. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So if they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Now Mayfield got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. A gain of 7, and they pick up the first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Check. 180. King.
They'll run. It's Dorsett. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. A run for Nick Chubb. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And that is caught. But the back judge right there to say incomplete. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot. Does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So it's still 1st and goal, but now they get to try from a bit closer. They'll give it to Chubb, and he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. A first down run from Barkley, pretty well defended. Give him 3 yards on the play. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Saquon Barkley running right. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. A running play on first down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coach would always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Let's go. You tighten it. Regular.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He's going to walk one deep left side here. He's got a man complete. The 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. 97 yards. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
Don't be scared.
Here's Thompson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. On the draw, this is Barkley. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run. But how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
The first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from the Motor City, and it's the Bears who are off to the early lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses.
Set, 180.
A first down throw for Mayfield. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Schwartz. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Mayfield brings him up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. From the gun, Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him all.
And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Baker Mayfield with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
But this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Check back.
A first down carry for Barkley. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Check four. Check nickel. Mike 5-5, Mike 55, Mike 5-5.
Now Thompson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out, but you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
Now Thompson throwing on 3rd and long, and he fends him off. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting them in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
That one, a gain of 20 and a first down. Mayfield brings him up 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. To throw, Mayfield. James has got it, complete. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Dorsett. Now loose football, the ball comes out, and the Giants have it, it's picked up. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Mayfield looks to throw. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Mayfield on 3rd and 2. He finds Beckham complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
And we'll remind you, coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Here's 3rd and goal now, back at the 11. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Thompson now throwing to start the drive. Flushed out right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Back to throw. Thompson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Thompson, operating from the gun. Forced out to his left. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Throwing, Mayfield. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. The Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, there defensively to make the play. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
30 ball, go.
Mayfield to throw it. It's caught. Beckham. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Mayfield now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10. He'll let this go for the end zone. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Jabril Pepper is on the coverage.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hey, alert 33. You don't know no better. Hey, dude.
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And again, it's Mayfield. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This from 44 yards out, left hash. Seibert able to knock this one through. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is caught at the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Got a man, Slayton. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. From the gun, Thompson going up top. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants are able to cut into this lead. Rosas good with the extra point, and the lead's down to 24. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. It was Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, there to knock it away.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Over the middle, complete. It's Schwartz. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Mayfield now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Mayfield with it once more. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
On 3rd and 1, here's Mayfield. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
Seibert's kick is good. And that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, Parker, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Looking to throw. Thompson. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
44. Set up. Mike, 44. Under 10. Under 10. 10. Watch twist. Squeeze. Kill.
Here's Thompson throwing on 3rd and long. They complete it to him. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Thompson on 1st and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
They'll go to Barkley again. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47. Now Thompson from the gun, he'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Back to throw. Thompson. Dancing to his left. And he's going to go down again. Myles Garrett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Continuing to play at that level, and when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
He's going to look deep down the field. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. Here now, Johnny Townsend. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together.
Hey, alert 33.
I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Mayfield now. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Stepping up, he'll try and run. A breakdown defensively there as the scramble is going to set him up with a much more manageable third down. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off, not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on third down. Makes it manageable now.
Watch twist. Watch twist. Check 37. Check 37. Rush in. Rush in. Rush in. Go, go. You got tape. You got tape.
Thompson now from the gun on third down. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. Looking to throw. Thompson. Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. The Giants go on fourth but come up empty. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position.
180. Twist.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Get ready. Get ready.
Alert. Alert.
They run it again with Chubb. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down.
Switch it.
They run. Chubb. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They go with Chubb on second down. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
36. Watch your ship.
Real.
Hey, watch your ship.
And again, it's Chubb. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Around the NFL 4th quarter right now in Atlanta. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Thompson. Being chased out left. He'll try and run it. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 19. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Kill. Check 43. Check safety.
To throw is Thompson. Throwing on 3rd and long. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here's Thompson throwing on 4th down. Under pressure, and down he goes. Myles Garrett. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
180.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
And they take a knee.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11. At the 19.
Mike. Coming to you.
And they will take a knee here. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they'll indeed take a knee.
Mayfield on the keeper. A loss of a yard. Brings up 4th down.
But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Cleveland, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Oakland to take on the Raiders. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they'll fall to 1-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.